Well, hello, everybody. It is the Dennis and Andy show with your movie review on this lovely Friday morning. So, last night, Thursday night, we went and saw Saturday Night. That's right. Usually, this is where I pitch it to Dennis to say what the movie's about, but I think I can actually handle this one. Saturday Night is literally about the beginnings of Saturday Night Live, the first episode. It starts off, I almost want to say this movie was real time because it's roughly an hour and a half.
No, it was real time. It wasn't like it was real
It
time.
was. Okay, so the movie is set in real time. It's basically starts at 10 p.m. on Saturday night in October and counts down to going live for the first episode of Saturday Night Live. Take it away, Dennis.
Yep. Just think of that. October 11th, 1975. This troupe, and for those of you that are fans of Saturday Night Live, you'd recognize this troupe of young comedians and the writers, and they really changed television and late night forever. So this is kind of the behind the scenes story told through the eyes of Lorne Michaels.
Yes.
And it is real time. So all of everything that happens comes crashing down like in the minute. So you're following him literally through everything. So the movie, it's got a huge plus because it is so cool seeing it done this way, but it's also a minus because you don't get enough of the actors that we know and love. And I will say it from the outset, all the stars that filled, like Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner and Chevy Chase and everybody you love, they were phenomenal. Every single one of them. I mean,
I think I'll go hat off to the guy that played Chevy Chase. I thought was fantastic. I do think the guy that played Aykroyd was great. Gilda Radner was great. You know, those were probably the most predominant. You know, Jane Curtin got some play, not as much.
John
Uh,
Belushi, Matt Wood was
John Belushi. John Belushi, the guy was great, but he didn't really get a lot of play either.
Well, his was, instead of being a lot of lines, it's moods. Because, you know,
Right.
John Belushi was known as super moody, difficult to work with. He was on cocaine half the time, and that's what got played out. The ones that really got shorted really were the girls that were in the cast. Jane Curtin had her one really nice scene, but most of the other girls just got a little bit. Gilda got a little bit, and you got to see her and why America kind of fell in love with her and stuff like that. But the acting and them bringing forth the persona of each of the Saturday Night Live characters, Billy Crystal, they were all spot on. Andy Kaufman, Jim Henson.
Oh my God, Andy Kaufman. That actor did a great job. I vividly remember the skit where he's singing along to the Mighty Mouse soundtrack. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you go to YouTube and watch it. Andy was one of my favorite comedians. Garrett Morris, the actor that played him, was from New Girl. He's fantastic. J.K. Simmons was in it playing Milton Berle, and he was awesome. And the standout, I thought, too, was I believe his name is Matthew Rice from The American. He was the Russian spy in that FX show, The American. He played George Carlin. You talk about a transformation. Every time he was on screen, I'm like, I know this guy. I know this guy. I know this guy. And then finally, there was this conversation scene he was in, and it just clicked. And I was like, oh my God, wow. I love movies like this that, you know, pull the curtain back, no pun intended, because this was basic, you know, Saturday Night Live, to show the stuff leading up. Jason Reitman directed it. He, I thought, did a really nice job. It was very frenetic, which I can only imagine was how it was that first night, just the chaos going on behind the scenes when it comes to having to get new lighting guys and just, still building the set and stuff. I'm assuming it was based on, I mean, there's numerous books out there. So I'm assuming it was based on maybe not one book, but a few. Maybe he did interviews. That was the thing that, if I had one disappointment, it was after. And what I mean by that is you would expect a movie like this, when the credits roll, would actually show footage from that first show. But there was nothing. So
Yep.
when it's
I was,
over, get up and walk out because there's nothing.
yep.
That was a
I
little
was
disappointing.
surprised. I was surprised too. And I was a Saturday Night Live fan, but 75 was a little too young for me to remember all this stuff. But because I was more in the 80s. But I will
Yeah.
say this, it was fantastic in a lot of ways of how they brought everything together. However, some of the stuff just wasn't believable, and I'm not a history buff, so I know a lot of you probably are, and you say, yeah, after you watch this, there's just certain things that you don't think could happen. I don't think in the last 20 minutes he walked next door and wound up hiring the writer at that time. I'm
No.
not saying he didn't hire it there, but they had to do some embellishing
Yeah. I mean, that was the
for
thing.
the movie.
That's why I was a little bit like, is this real time? And I had a sense it was, but it felt long. It felt like they exaggerated. Like the movie was, is an hour and a half runtime. You throw the credits in and stuff. It's, 145, whatever. But him, like you said, Lorne Michaels has to go find John Belushi. He leaves the building. He goes next door to this bar. He catches the stand-up set, and there's a dude sitting at the bar that says he's a joke writer, and he reads some of the guy's stuff and likes it, and hires the guy on the spot. And it's just like, I think you're playing with the time a little fast and loose here
And I'm
in
sure
in
there was some of
areas.
that, but in
Yeah,
order to make a film, you have to suspend some
yeah,
disbelief, and you're able to do it. And again, the main point of this is most of these characters I didn't know. There were a few of them we did. Dylan O'Brien, the guy that played Dan Aykroyd, was great.
yeah.
Everybody knows him from the Maze Runner series and stuff, but other than the ones we had, Brad Garrett makes a cameo and stuff in there. But the majority of these people that played, Gilda and Rosie and Garrett, well, you knew him, but Jane Curtin.
Well, the guy that played Chevy Chase, he was in other. I know I've seen him in other stuff, but once again, if you've seen me before, my memory's awful. But I don't know if you can say real quick what other stuff that guy that played Chevy Chase was in, but I know I've seen him.
Yeah, he's been in other stuff. I
Yeah,
don't remember. But again, most of these were unknowns, kind
right,
of playing unknowns of
right.
1975. And everything clicked. The big thing is, did you enjoy it? I really enjoyed it. I love the pace. I love what happened. I love the behind the scenes work, all the politics that went in behind it, trying to get it. What were you supposed to get it? Were you supposed to fail? Were you not supposed to? They kind of go into it, and I'm sure some of it was embellished, but it made it for a fun and interesting movie, highly enjoyable. And if you're a Saturday Night Live fan, you will know these
You
characters
need to.
and
You
you
should
will
see it.
enjoy it. If you're
Yeah.
not, the downside is if you're not a fan of Saturday Night Live, you're going to look at this and go, "This is just a hot mess," because I don't know who any of these people are.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not made. It is not
It,
made for people who know nothing about
no,
Saturday Night Live.
it's not a character development movie. you if you like Saturday Night Live now and you want to learn about the history, go watch it. Like my daughter, she likes comedies, no interest in this movie. She's 21. I don't think she's ever watched an episode of it.
Yep.
So yeah. So there you go. Performances I thought were great and solid. Uh whose turn is it to go first, rating wise?
Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. I'm going to go and give this a. I'm waffling. I'm doing it. I'm going on the higher end of my waffle. I'm going 8.0 on it. I liked it because I like the backstory of things in general, the history of things, how they came together. So I enjoyed it a lot. It even makes me want to do a deep dive on the internet now to read up and find what was true and what was more embellished. So, and it makes, I was telling Dennis, I want to go back because I'm with Dennis. I was an 80s kid with Saturday Night Live. I saw the first episode years ago, like 30 years ago. I actually want to go back and rewatch it. And Dennis, tomorrow is October 11th. So look at that. Or today, because this is yeah.
It is. It launched
October 11th.
On the anniversary. So
so what are you giving it?
I am giving it a 7.0. I thought it was solid. It was enjoyable. As I stated, the actors, they're the ones that pulled it off for me because I know a lot of the actors over the years and stuff, they pulled off Billy Crystal, the guy that played Billy Crystal. If you close your eyes, you could hear Billy Crystal. Same thing with any of the guys. When John Belushi started doing it, when Matt Wood was imitating him, you close your eyes again, you could feel it. I mean, it was just really good. The script and stuff, it was fine. I enjoyed the technique of the storytelling. I think it's a good watch. I recommend seeing it. If you're one of those folks that want to wait till it comes out, it's not something that has to be seen on the big screen, but it is a heck of a good watch.
Yeah, and I would second that. Does not have to be seen on the big screen at all. And what you want to see is KOR-DRATH: The Awakening. Guys, if you're fans
actually, how about we give the review?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun. Go ahead. Yeah. What are
let's see what we got for ratings. IMDb does have a rating. They're giving it a 7.1. So that is a solid for IMDb. And Rotten Tomatoes. The critics are giving it a 79. There is no audience reviews. The popcorn meter is not they have 50 plus verified ratings, but nothing is in it. So I'm just scrolling down it. The majority of them are 4s, 4.5s, and a few people hated it, said poor acting and stuff. So we'll have to see, but it looks like it'll get a pretty solid rating.
There you go. Now here we are. Solid rating, KOR-DRATH: The Awakening. It's for the fans of Dungeons and Dragons. He-Man actually it fits into the mold, or KOR-DRATH fits into that mold. Game of Thrones, Conan, high fantasy adventure. Guys, go check it out. We have added the Irene Strakowski variant cover to it, and the black and white edition version of her cover with no logo is available in the collector's box tier only. And for everybody that already backed the collector box tier, or if you haven't, both these books will be in the collector box as well at no additional cost. So more bang for your buck. We're on the road to 750 backers, just 10 away. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. Play the video. Scroll through all the tiers at your leisure. Get caught up with KOR-DRATH, The Reckoning, with the featured tier where you can get the first book with a new Bud Root cover and the second book. Lots of great stuff to choose from. Check it out, guys. We really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on Wednesday. I'm trying to finagle a buddy of mine to come on the show with me since Dennis will be out of town. We do have a movie review next week. So like, subscribe, and share so you can see what that one is. And we'll catch you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Dennis, you have a good trip.
An ancient evil awakened to slaughter his family. A mythical quest was revealed. Treacherous perils await. Lovers bound by destiny. Darkness gathers as a new game begins. One man's rage will shape worlds. KOR-DRATH, The Awakening. Only on Indiegogo. Back it now!